Welcome to Big Family Little Farm. I'm Jen, farmer here. The other farmer's not here at the moment because he's fixing a trailer, tractor, something. I don't remember. I apologize. Anyway, if you're new here, we're really glad to have you. And we'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and follow us. We're also on Instagram. Pretty soon we're going to be on X, which I guess used to be Twitter. I'm learning about these things. I'm kind of proud of myself. Now, if you're new, watch the video prior to this one because I did it all by myself. My social media gal wasn't here. She's also my editor, and she was at her grandmother's house. She is my 15-year-old. Anyway, she wasn't here, so I had to do it all by myself, and I did it. Now, today what do we have? We have 10 pounds of red onions. That is not the most onions I've ever worked with in a day. 50 pounds was the most I've ever done in one day. But 10 pounds is going to take me out as it is. So why do I have 10 pounds of red onions? Yes, they look purple to me too. I'm just telling you what it says on the label. It says 10 pounds of red onions. These are from As Your Standard. If you don't know what that is, I'm gonna drop the link in the description below. As Your Standard is a little bit like a co-op. They deliver once or twice a month, depending on where you are in the United States. And it's a pretty amazing system. I'm gonna keep talking even though I'm stepping off camera. Anyway, they have lots of organic, fresh stuff, frozen stuff, and we like to eat as much organic as as organically as possible. Due to some health reasons. Now, just recently, the farmer got his first medical diagnosis. He's been dealing with mine for all these years, but now he's got something that we're watching for. So we're going to continue our organic journey and include some other things, some changes in our diets to help him. Now, what I'm going to have to do is get all the skins off these onions, and then I'm going to pull out my mandolin and I'm going to slice them. But first, iced coffee. Okay. It won't leave. It won't go too far. I promise. I want to know. Drop me a link. Not a link. Drop me a comment below and let me know if you are an iced coffee kind of person, or if you're a hot coffee kind of person, or if you'd rather chew your own arm off than drink either. But don't chew your own arm off. It sounds painful. Mandolin. I'm looking for the rest of it. Don't use the mandolin without one of these. This grips the food and slides it down so you're not slicing off fingers. Will it cut you? Yes. Will you regret it? Absolutely. Will the people around you laugh? Also yes. Keep it in mind. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these onions, I'm going to take the top and the bottom off, and I'm going to peel them. I'm going to put all the peels in this great big bowl here, and eventually those peels will be combined with other bits and baubles of things to make stock. I have some beef bones, I believe, in the freezer, and so we're going to make some beef stock with this. That's going to be a project for later, not today. Today has enough projects all on its own. So, how about if we speed this up a little bit, shall we? Last one. So, said social media guru, 15-year-old, helped me with all of this. So it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. But she just informed me that her eyes were watering after I asked about it. And I said, mine aren't. And she said, well, that must be nice. I said, contact. She said, I currently sort of wish that my eyes were worse so that I could have some in too. So there's your tip for the day. If you have to cut a bunch of onions, wear your contacts if you have them. Works like a charm. No tears whatsoever. That could have been bad.
If not, you suffer.
Now you know. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands. Did you know? The more you know. Anyway, did you know that onion skins and things are used occasionally to make natural dyes for fabrics? Bet the red onions are used to make things purple and pink, don't you think? Awesome. This is why I normally wear gloves when I do this sort of thing, but I forgot. Nonetheless. Okay, so we are going to take our little rag and wipe off our cutting board. Oh gosh, and it's gonna run away because that's fun. We're going to clean up all this mess. Then we're gonna start the mandolin while the 15-year-old checks this and starts putting jars in. You remember how to do that, right? Do you mind if your back's on camera?
That's fine.
She doesn't mind. Okay. Mandolin. Rule number 1. Don't touch it with your bare hands. It's a good rule. Trust me. Mine has from 0 to 9 as a depth, so you can put it way low and cut french fries with it, or you put it really high and sliver something. I like my onions, when I'm pickling them, to be about a 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to put up, I don't know if you can see that, so I'm gonna get closer. See the little teeth? That'll slice them into strips. Actually, no, I don't want to do that for these. I just realized what I was doing, sorry. Anyway, so here's how it goes. So we can be safe. That's right, sometimes I quote Dora. Judge me later. She's got her judgy eyeballs on me over here. Okay. Yeah. That's all there is to it. Just for 10 pounds of onions. And you try not to fling them everywhere. Just for the record, it doesn't always work. Okay, so when you're done, this is what you have. Some nice thin onions that go get great in a pickling brine. There you go. So, how about we do this a little faster than the speed of sound, huh? Okay, I'm back. Blessed 15-year-old Ida's heart. Her eyeballs are just watering all down her face. It looks like she's been crying over nothing. But she's good. I'm just kidding. She just keeps blinking like this. So what I have back here is a pot that has about 3 cups of water in it. I really don't have exact measurements for you on this recipe, okay? The recipe that I started with uses 2 onions. I just used 10 pounds of onions. So trying to math that, well, frankly, it's just not going to happen, at least not today. So we are gonna eyeball it because that's what we do. It's roughly 3 cups of water. So it's equal parts water and white vinegar. Here we are, assuming I can find a measuring cup. Yesterday was a lot of using measuring cups, and today will be too. So this is a 2-cup measuring cup because my 4-cup measuring cup is in the dishwasher, which is not done yet. Like I said, lots of measuring. Okay. Whew. The worst part of pickling anything is the vinegar. Okay, roughly 3 cups of vinegar. Now we're gonna set this aside. You can see a red towel laid out here. This red towel is for me to put hot jars on because this mixture will be hot and you want your jars to be warm. If the food going in the jars is warm, then you need to have warm jars. If you're cold packing something, you can have cold jars. But because this will be warm, the jars need to be warm. So, Ida is going to take all the jars and bring them right here so that we can fill them easily. And I am going to finish this up. So, I have white sugar. You can use whatever sugar makes your heart sing. It really doesn't matter. I like the white sugar in this recipe, and I'm using a 1/2 cup. I don't want it to be maybe a little over 1/2 cup. I don't want it to be super sweet. Red onions are a sweet onion already, so I really don't need them to be too much sweeter. This is my tablespoon. I'm going to bring it up close so that you can see it. It is a hand carved. I have 2 of these. I also have 2 that are teaspoons. And I have several utensils that I use with cooking too. A friend of mine's son makes these for me. Makes decent money selling them. And I have a thing about helping homeschoolers. And I've just put 2 tablespoons of salt, in case you're wondering. The other thing I put in that the recipe doesn't call for is a little pickling spice. I don't put a bunch. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon in all of that water and such. But I like, now, if you don't want this to float around in your onions, put it in a little linen baggie. I ain't doing that. I like it this way. It makes the jars look pretty. Well, that, and I'm lazy, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so that's all there is to this, y'all. I'm basically gonna bring this to where it's just starting to bubble, not quite boiling, not quite not boiling. I'm gonna pour that hot water into this bowl, and I'm gonna melt the sugar and salt, dissolve, not melt, dissolve the sugar and everything in the bottom, and then I'm gonna ladle this into the jars. So while we're waiting on, this is not gonna be enough. I don't think I'm gonna have to make more. Anyway, we're probably gonna need more jars too. But here's what we do. We take and we stuff them filled with onions. Maybe not. It's been a while since I made these because I had done, I think I got like a 3-pound bag of onions or whatever at the store. You can break them apart if they're really big. That's not a problem. And I made some, and I think we have like 1 left, and the farmer said, hey, can we do some more of those pickled onions? I really like those. So here we are, pickling onions to make farmers happy. It's the goal of a farmer wife, I suppose, to make farmers happy. That or to keep them from working themselves to death, which is a job full-time in and of itself, in case you don't know any farmers. Anyway, so basically what I'm gonna do is just fill all of these jars, and I'll be back with you. Okay, we're back. Turns out we need more jars. Kind of assumed that was gonna happen. Anyway, so now the water's boiling. I'm gonna turn that off, and I'm going to gonna pour this boiling water into the bowl. Get some of that sugar up off the bottom. Whee! Okay. now if you could see into this bowl a little bit better, you would see that the spices I put in are not much. Yeah, you can. See that there's not tons of pickling spice in here. It's just enough to give that little hint of that pickled flavor. The vinegar does a lot of that, but I like the pickling spice flavor, so I use it. And now that all that salt and everything is dissolved, what we'll do is we'll take this funnel and I'm going to pour the liquid over the top of the onions. Because it's packed so tightly, you have to be careful not to overflow because it's kind of hard to see. Now, if my assistant doesn't mind, she can grab the debubbler. It's in the bin with all the other canning stuff.
That's lovely. What is it?
It's a stick. You know what? Just grab that green chopstick out of there and do it.
Okay.
I do have a debubbler. It's all very fancy and everything, but a chopstick works just fine if that's what you have. No, no.
That one?
Right there.
Ah.
Do you need me to show you how?
I don't know what I'm doing.
There you have it, folks. Okay.
There's bubbles coming out, so it works.
Good Lord. That was not supposed to happen. But essentially you just run it like that. Down the sides, just to get all the bubbles out. Try not to pull all of the onions out because the onions need to be covered in the juice. So a lot of times when you debubble, you'll find that you didn't have enough water in there after all, and you'll have to add more. Or liquid, I guess, not water. I did that too fast. Went over the sides a little. So does that one need more juice?
Yes, a little bit. I think it's also just a bit overfilled.
Well, if we have to pull some out, go ahead and pull some out and put them in the thing. This is probably not a whole lot of fun to watch, so I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, this is my biggest canner. When you water bath can, you cover your jars about 2 inches above the lids of water. You bring it to a boil and you let it rolling boil for however long you have to can them. These I'm going to can for 15 minutes, okay? Because of the vinegar that's in them, it's fine to water bath can them. High acidity foods, jams, jellies, pickles, can all be water bath canned. Even some tomato products, it just depends on the tomatoes and the acidity level of them. So basically what I've done is I've put 9 pint-sized jars in this canner, covered them with water 2 inches above the lids. Now I'm going to put the lid on, but I'm not going to tighten it down. I'm just going to put the lid on because a covered pot comes to boil a whole lot faster than an uncovered one. Now, while that's coming to a boil, once it comes to a boil, we'll set a timer for 15 minutes and then let it cool off and we'll pull them out and you'll be able to see them. I'm going to start filling some more jars. All right, I'm back. I just wanted to show you what happens toward the end when these things are done. In my years, I've dropped a jar or two. So I always put something on the bottom of them when I pull them out of this hot pot. Okay. And this is what they look like out of the canner. once they've cooled off, I'll twist them up and down, you know, like this, so that all of the onions are distributed pretty evenly throughout the jar. Now, once I get all of these out here on this towel, I'm going to cover them. And the reason for that is my house stays pretty cold, and these are exceptionally hot jars. And glass, if it changes, oh, for goodness sake, if it changes temperature too quickly, will shatter. And I'd rather not shatter the jars and have pickled onion everywhere. So, oh, where'd my towel go? She keeps putting it back where it doesn't go. So I'm going to do like so. And that's that. Thanks so much for joining us here at Big Family Little Farm. We're very grateful to you, and we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, like our channel, whatever it's called here on YouTube, and invite your friends. If you know somebody who would enjoy this kind of content, it's a lot of cooking, a lot of homesteading type stuff. I just heard one of them pop already. That little ping is the greatest sound ever when you're a canner. Little encouragement, some biblical truths along the way. If that kind of thing interests you or somebody you know, please feel free to invite them. We would love to have them. In fact, if you do, call them out in the comments and tell them to watch this. We would love to see each of you, and we'd love to chat in the comments as well. So if you have something you want us to know or you want to ask a question, feel free to do that in the comments. I personally check every single comment. I'm the one who responds. Yes, I have somebody who helps me put videos together and edit them, but all of the responses are from yours truly. So from our farmhouse to wherever it is you call home, have a great day. Bye, everybody.